Jai Shri Radhe Krishna. The inspirational and soothing voice of Shri Krishna has the power to bring a new direction to your life. Let us listen to his divine words, which touch every heart and strengthen every mind. Friends, have you ever felt that, despite all the running around in life, inner peace seems lost? There comes a moment in everyone's life when all our hard work appears to be in vain, leading to despair and the feeling that moving forward is impossible. At such times, we find ourselves questioning our purpose. Who am I? What is the true meaning of my life? The answers to these profound questions lie in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It is not just a scripture but a guide to living life in the right way. The Gita teaches us how to perform our duties without attachment to results, how to face hardships without giving up, and how to realize the divine knowledge within us. If you seek new light, fresh inspiration, and a meaningful direction in life, stay connected with this channel. Here, we will explore the teachings of the Gita in a simple and insightful manner, because the Gita says, "One who understands it conquers life." There are moments in life when challenges overwhelm us, leaving us frustrated and hopeless. These are the times when we must recognize the strength within us. When we trust God, we realize that an invisible force guides us through life's ups and downs. During difficult times, many questions arise. Am I on the right path? Is this the right decision? In such moments, we need a guide, and the greatest guide we have is Lord Shri Krishna. He not only taught us the art of living, but also showed us how faith and patience lead us forward. The life of Shri Krishna symbolizes that when we surrender our actions to God, we gain the strength to overcome every obstacle. Trusting God does not mean asking for miracles, but believing that He is always with us. Just as a child laughs when tossed in the air, trusting that their parent will catch them, we too should have unwavering faith in God. Everything He does is ultimately for our well-being, even if we do not always understand it. The Sparrow's Faith, a divine story. During the great battle of Kurukshetra, preparations were underway to clear the battlefield. Elephants were being used to uproot trees to make way for the armies. On one such tree lived a small sparrow with her 4 tiny chicks. As the tree was felled, the nest fell to the ground, yet miraculously, the little birds remained unharmed. However, they were too young to fly, and their mother, weak and frightened, desperately sought help. At that moment, Lord Shri Krishna and Arjuna arrived to inspect the battlefield. The sparrow, gathering all her courage, fluttered toward Shri Krishna and pleaded, "O Lord, please save my children. Once the war begins, they will be crushed." Shri Krishna gently replied, "I hear your plea, but I cannot interfere with the laws of nature." The sparrow, with unwavering faith, responded, "O Lord, I know you are my savior. I surrender my children's fate to you. Whether you grant them life or death, it is in your hands." Moved by her devotion, Shri Krishna smiled and instructed, "Store food in your nest for 3 weeks." The sparrow, trusting his words, returned to her nest and began her preparations. 2 days later, the war commenced. The battlefield echoed with the sound of conches. As Arjuna prepared to fire his arrows, Shri Krishna suddenly took the bow from him and shot an arrow at an elephant. The arrow, however, did not hit the elephant, but instead struck the bell tied around its neck, causing it to fall to the ground. Arjuna, puzzled by this, did not question Krishna further. The war raged for 18 days, and in the end, the Pandavas emerged victorious. After the battle, Shri Krishna took Arjuna on a tour of the battlefield. As they walked through the devastation, Krishna suddenly stopped near an elephant's bell. Pointing to it, he said, "Arjuna, lift this bell." Arjuna obeyed. As soon as he lifted the bell, an incredible sight unfolded before him. 4 small birds, along with their mother, emerged from underneath, chirping joyfully. The very bell that had fallen 18 days ago had protected them all along. Arjuna, overwhelmed with realization, bowed before Shri Krishna and said, "O Lord, forgive me. In my ignorance, I had forgotten your divine wisdom." The lesson. This story teaches us that when we surrender ourselves to God with true devotion and faith, He protects us in ways beyond our comprehension. The sparrow's unwavering trust moved Lord Krishna to ensure her chick's safety. No matter how impossible a situation may seem, faith and dedication bring shelter and protection. God's guidance may not always be visible, but a heartfelt prayer is never unheard. Surrender to Him, and He will guide you through every storm. Faith and devotion, the path to divine strength. Lord Shri Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita, Ananya chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate, tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshamam vahamyaham. Those who always think of me and worship me with exclusive devotion, I personally take care of their needs and protect what they have. This profound teaching assures us that when we surrender ourselves to God with unwavering faith, He arranges all circumstances for our well-being. Our responsibility is to fulfill our duties with dedication and leave the outcome in His hands. Every individual in this world faces difficulties at some point in life. Challenges, hardships, and crises often bring despair. But if we trust in God during tough times, we begin to see that these trials are not obstacles, but lessons meant to strengthen us. Faith in God provides inner peace, encourages resilience, and inspires us to walk on the right path. Shri Krishna's message is clear. Perform your duties sincerely and do not worry about the results. His teachings emphasize that while we should strive for excellence in our actions, we must also accept that we cannot always control their outcomes. True devotion means working with complete dedication while trusting that God will always guide us toward the right path. The power of faith. Faith is the unwavering trust in a divine power that supports us in every situation. When we fill our minds with positivity and trust in God, our problems begin to appear smaller. Every event in life is a learning opportunity, and we must embrace each situation as a step toward our growth. Even Shri Krishna himself faced numerous hardships, yet he never lost faith. He remained steadfast, fulfilled his responsibilities, and emerged victorious. This teaches us that during difficult times, we must strengthen our faith, for it is faith that helps us overcome obstacles and move forward. At some point in life, we all experience moments when we feel lost and defeated. In such times, it is crucial to recognize the inner strength within us. Faith in God is not just about seeking His help. It is about realizing that His divine energy resides within us, empowering us to move forward with confidence. Faith not only helps us face challenges, but also leads us towards success. Shri Krishna's life is an eternal inspiration. Whether it was guiding Arjuna on the battlefield or offering wisdom to his devotees, he always illuminated the right path. His teachings assure us that when we perform our duties with honesty and devotion, success will follow. Faith in every situation. Life is a blend of joy and sorrow, but faith teaches us to remain steadfast in both. When faced with difficulties, we should strengthen our trust in God, and in moments of happiness, we should express gratitude. Shri Krishna teaches us that a positive attitude toward life is essential. A positive mindset helps us navigate challenges, clears our thoughts, and enables us to make better decisions. When we maintain an optimistic outlook, we naturally move in the right direction. Faith in God also reminds us to be compassionate. True devotion is not just about personal prayers, but also about caring for others. When we help those in need, we experience God's grace in our own lives. Selfless service is the true essence of spirituality. Thus, believing in God is not merely about seeking help during hardships. It is a profound spiritual experience that strengthens our inner self. Shri Krishna's teachings emphasize that faith, patience, and positivity are the keys to a fulfilling life. The story of Ramu, a testament to faith. Long ago, in a small village, there lived a poor farmer named Ramu. His life was filled with struggles. He worked tirelessly on his small piece of land, yet his harvest was often insufficient to feed his family. Droughts ruined his crops, and at times he had to sell his land to repay debts. Despite his hardships, Ramu's faith in Lord Shri Krishna remained unshaken. Every morning, before heading to his fields, he would visit the village's Krishna temple, bow before the deity, and begin his day with the belief that whatever happens is by the will of God. People mocked him, saying, "Ramu, what will you gain by trusting God? Hard work is all that matters." But Ramu would simply smile and reply, "God is with me. He will never abandon me. My duty is to work hard, and He will take care of the rest." One year, the village suffered from a severe drought. For months, not a single drop of rain fell. Wells and ponds dried up, crops withered, and famine spread across the village. People lost hope, but Ramu remained steadfast in his faith. One day, as he sat in his barren field, he noticed a sage meditating under a large tree. Hoping for guidance, Ramu approached him, bowed in reverence, and shared his troubles. The sage listened patiently and said, "My child, your faith in God will guide you through this crisis. God never abandons His devotees. Continue your work with faith, and you will witness His grace." Inspired by the sage's words, Ramu returned to his field. Even in the absence of rain, he continued to plow his land, water the plants as best as he could, and nurture his crops. Then, one night, a miraculous event occurred. Heavy rain poured down upon the village, reviving the parched land. The villagers were astonished. The monsoon season had long passed, yet the rain arrived just in time. Ramu's fields flourished, and his crops yielded abundantly. That year, his harvest was so bountiful that he was able to repay all his debts and secure a stable future. The same people who once ridiculed Ramu now praised his unwavering faith. They asked him, "Ramu, how did you know that God would help you?" With a gentle smile, Ramu replied, "Trusting God gives us strength in difficult times. He never leaves us alone. I had faith that my hard work, combined with His blessings, would lead to success." Moved by Ramu's story, faith in God deepened within the hearts of the villagers. Conclusion. The story of Ramu reflects a universal truth. Faith, patience, and perseverance always lead to divine blessings. No matter how difficult the situation, if we place our trust in God, He will guide us toward the right path. Shri Krishna's teachings remind us that while hard work is essential, true success comes when it is combined with faith and devotion. Let us strive to live with this wisdom, performing our duties diligently, trusting in God's plan, and embracing life's journey with faith and positivity. The people of the village, inspired by Ramu's unwavering faith, began to remember God in every situation. They realized that true trust in the divine is never in vain. Ramu's faith not only helped him overcome the greatest challenges of life, but also taught the villagers that believing in God is the essence of true devotion and self-confidence. To move forward in life, we must strengthen our determination and understand that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Having faith in God and dedicating ourselves wholeheartedly to our work is the true purpose of life. When we embrace this attitude, we not only uplift ourselves, but also become a source of inspiration for others. We must prepare our hearts to experience God's grace. When we welcome Him into our lives, we begin to realize that He has always been with us, guiding, teaching, and inspiring us. Shri Krishna's wisdom reminds us that life is a journey. Difficulties may arise in the pursuit of our goals, but by recognizing the inner strength within us, we can keep moving forward. Faith, the key to inner strength. Having faith in God means cultivating positivity, patience, and hope in our hearts. When we place our trust in Him, we unlock an inner power that helps us face every challenge with courage. Faith in God is not just about seeking His help in difficult times. It is about recognizing the divine strength within us that enables us to overcome obstacles. Shri Krishna has said, "I am with those who have faith in me." This profound truth reminds us that when we approach our work with sincerity and dedication, His blessings open infinite possibilities in our lives. True success belongs to those who trust in God and never give up, no matter how many difficulties they encounter. So let us all strengthen our faith, stay motivated, and believe that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Shri Krishna's message teaches us that when we have faith, every problem transforms into a new opportunity. By maintaining positivity and trust in God, we will undoubtedly achieve our goals and touch new heights of success. The transformative power of trust in God. When we place our faith in God, a new energy is infused into our life journey. This divine energy gives us the courage to face challenges and instills within us an unshakable sense of confidence and patience. It constantly reminds us that we are never alone. God is always by our side, protecting us and illuminating our path. Faith is a journey of determination and perseverance. It teaches us that life's challenges and difficulties are an essential part of our growth. No human being experiences only happiness in life. Struggles, sorrow, and failures are inevitable. But during tough times, trust in God provides us with mental peace and stability. When we truly believe that God is with us in every situation, our worries automatically diminish. This belief frees us from fear and fills us with the inspiration to overcome any hardship. No matter how difficult the circumstances may be, faith in God empowers us to find a way forward. Lord Shri Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Abandon all doubts and conflicts and surrender to me alone. This profound teaching reveals that when we take refuge in God and surrender all our actions to Him, our worries disappear. We begin to understand that God is with us in every situation, and our only duty is to perform our tasks with sincerity. This surrender brings inner peace, allowing us to work with full concentration and devotion. Embracing positivity through faith. Trusting in God means remaining positive in every situation. This positivity gives us hope that no matter how difficult the moment, it will pass. God has never abandoned His devotees, and we must trust in His grace and blessings. His presence in our lives is constant, and His guidance is always available to us. Shri Krishna's life teaches us that walking the path of truth and righteousness is of utmost importance. We must uphold honesty and integrity in our actions. When we walk the path of truth, God Himself becomes our protector. With faith in His blessings, we can remain fearless and steadfast in our pursuit of our goals. Recognizing the power within us. There are moments in life when we feel as though we have lost everything, but this is only an illusion. In reality, God is always with us, helping us navigate our struggles. It is up to us to recognize His presence and use His divine strength to transform our lives. Instead of doubting our abilities, we must rely on God's grace and support as we move forward. When we align ourselves with His divine will, no obstacle can stand in our way. Lord Shri Krishna has also taught that the greatest enemy of man is his own mind. Therefore, we must learn to control our thoughts and direct them in a positive direction. Faith in God helps us overcome negativity, build resilience, and walk with confidence on the path of righteousness. Conclusion. The teachings of Shri Krishna inspire us to live a life of faith, patience, and unwavering determination. When we trust in God, remain positive, and dedicate ourselves to our duties, success is inevitable. Faith is not just about seeking blessings. It is about embracing the divine strength within us and becoming a guiding light for others. Let us all walk this path together, trusting in God and moving forward with courage, for His grace is always with us. With faith in our hearts, we can achieve the impossible and turn our lives into a source of inspiration for the world. True peace and happiness in life come when we keep God in our hearts and minds. When our thoughts are pure and positive, not only do we experience inner peace, but our lives also become joyful and fulfilling. Trusting in God means feeling His presence in every aspect of our life, believing that He is always with us, taking care of us, and guiding us on the right path. When we understand that every situation in our life is connected to God's grace, our life gains a new sense of direction and purpose. Faith in God gives us mental peace, courage, and confidence, qualities that lead to success in every aspect of life. We should live each day with the belief that God is with us and will help us overcome every difficulty. Having faith in God is a powerful force that awakens within us immense patience, peace, and courage. When faced with challenges, faith helps us recognize the strength within ourselves. Trusting in God does not mean waiting for miracles at all times. Rather, it means understanding that everything that happens is part of His divine plan. When we surrender completely to God, we realize that we are never alone. There is an invisible power guiding us at every step. We need not fear any situation, for faith in God teaches us that every difficulty is an opportunity to learn and grow. This belief gives us the strength to face failures and hardships with resilience. Lord Krishna's divine promise. Lord Shri Krishna's words are deeply inspiring. Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham, Bhagavad Gita 9.22. I take care of the needs and well-being of those who have unwavering faith in me. This means that when we depend on God with complete trust and devotion, He Himself smoothens our path, takes care of all our needs, and frees us from worries. The story of Shyam, a testament to faith. A long time ago in a small village, there lived a young man named Shyam. Though he was poor, he was content at heart and a devoted follower of Lord Shri Krishna. His life was full of hardships, yet he never lost faith in God. Every morning he would pray before Shri Krishna's idol and then go about his daily work with sincerity. Shyam's greatest wish was to have enough land to feed his family, but unfortunately, his farm was small and his harvest barely met his needs. Many of his friends and neighbors would mock him, saying, "Shyam, you have nothing, yet you trust God so much. If God is truly with you, why doesn't He help you?" But Shyam would smile and say, "Trusting God is my greatest wealth. I know that one day He will bless me for my hard work." A divine encounter. One day, a grand fair was organized in the village, and a wise sage had come to deliver a sermon on the glories of Lord Shri Krishna. Shyam listened attentively, and at the end of the discourse, went to seek the sage's blessings. Seeing his devotion and humility, the sage said, "My child, your faith in God is pure and unwavering. I wish to grant you a boon. Ask for anything you desire." Shyam thought for a moment and then humbly replied, "Maharaj, I do not need a boon. I am satisfied with whatever I have, as it is all by the grace of Lord Shri Krishna." The sage smiled and said, "Your true devotion is your greatest blessing. However, I will grant you one boon. Whenever you face difficulties, God will be with you and will show you the right path." Shyam felt blessed and, with renewed determination, continued working hard on his farm. A test of faith. Months passed and a severe drought struck the village. Crops withered and many farmers, filled with despair, decided to leave the village. Shyam too faced many challenges, but he remained steadfast in his faith. Instead of giving up, he did everything he could to save his crops. He arranged water from every possible source and took care of his field day and night. Seeing his efforts, the villagers said, "Shyam, everything is ruined. What is the use of trusting God?" But Shyam replied firmly, "I know that God sees my hard work. He will surely show me the way." That night, exhausted from his labor, Shyam had a divine vision. He saw Lord Krishna, smiling at him. "Shyam, I am pleased with your devotion and faith. Tomorrow, go to the small hill near your farm. There, you will find something that will change your life," said the Lord. At dawn, Shyam shared his dream with the villagers. They laughed and said, "It's just your imagination. Don't waste your time climbing that hill." But Shyam's faith was unshaken. Ignoring their doubts, he set out for the hill. Upon reaching the spot, he discovered a large cave hidden beneath a rock. Inside, he found a vast treasure of gold, silver, grains, and precious gems. Shyam immediately understood that this was Lord Krishna's grace. However, instead of keeping the treasure for himself, he shared it with the entire village. Seeing Shyam's unwavering faith and generosity, the villagers were deeply moved. They realized that those who truly trust in God are never abandoned. From that day onward, the entire village began to worship God with devotion. Lessons from Shyam's story. Shyam's story teaches us that true faith in God and selfless work are the greatest forms of devotion. A person who has faith in God lives a life of peace, contentment, and happiness. Such a person never feels lonely in their life's journey because they know that God's blessings are always with them. When we surrender our problems to God and trust in His divine plan, we experience true inner peace. Our mindset and outlook on life transform, allowing us to navigate difficulties with strength and confidence. Conclusion. Faith in God is not just about seeking His help, it is about understanding His presence in every moment of our lives. It fills us with courage, patience, and hope, allowing us to move forward despite challenges. As Shri Krishna teaches in the Bhagavad Gita, when we surrender to Him completely, all our fears dissolve. He takes care of our needs, protects us, and leads us towards success. So, let us trust in God, work with sincerity, and live with gratitude. When we do this, our lives will be filled with divine blessings, and we will become a source of inspiration for others. With faith in our hearts, we can overcome any challenge and achieve true happiness. We not only learn to accept our problems, but we also understand that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. With this perspective, we cultivate positivity in our lives, and our faith shields us from negativity. Trusting in God teaches us humility and gratitude, helping us avoid ego and pride by acknowledging that all our achievements are due to His grace. True joy comes when we recognize our successes as blessings from God. This understanding brings stability, humility, and consistency to our actions. Shri Krishna's teachings remind us to believe in our inner strength, for God resides within us, constantly inspiring and energizing us. Trusting in God helps us recognize our potential and possibilities. No situation is ever too difficult to overcome with God's grace. Life's challenges serve to make us stronger, and faith in Him instills patience and determination, guiding us through every difficulty. This unwavering trust reassures us that God supports us most when we need Him the most. Faith in God empowers us to remain positive in all circumstances. In difficult times, it reminds us that challenges are temporary, while God's peace is eternal. This faith provides stability and fills our lives with joy, for we know that our sorrows, troubles, and worries become lighter when surrendered to God. Trusting Him means complete surrender, placing our lives in His hands and allowing Him to guide us. When we truly understand that God takes care of all our needs, we are freed from fear and anxiety, enabling us to work selflessly and leave the outcomes to Him. Having faith in God brings true peace, contentment, and balance. We should realize that God is always with us, and with His blessings, we can face any challenge. Faith and devotion inspire us to walk the right path, leading us to success. The life and teachings of Lord Shri Krishna show us that no matter how great the difficulty, one who has faith in God can overcome anything. Those who trust in God never succumb to fear. When we have faith and devotion toward God, we realize that every situation in life is an experience meant to teach and guide us forward. Keeping our faith strong and dedicating our lives to God is the path to true happiness and peace. Trusting in God means seeking His support in every situation, regardless of the circumstances. This faith gives us patience and courage, renewing our strength when we doubt ourselves or face failure. Belief in God is a powerful force that enables us to stand firm in any storm. Shri Krishna teaches that whenever we feel despair, we should remember that God is with us at every moment. We must trust that whatever happens is ultimately for our well-being. Krishna's message about karma emphasizes focusing on our efforts rather than worrying about the outcome. This does not mean we take our actions lightly, but rather that we dedicate ourselves fully to our work and trust God with the results. When we stop obsessing over outcomes, our minds remain calm and focused, allowing us to give our best. Many times, life presents situations where we feel completely alone, with no one to help us. In such moments, faith in God brings inner peace, reminding us that all circumstances are temporary. This trust helps us understand that God is the ultimate source of strength, capable of dispelling all our sorrows. When faith takes root in our hearts, we develop resilience and the ability to face challenges with confidence. True faith in God allows us to experience His presence in every challenge. Every difficulty is a lesson, a test that strengthens us mentally and spiritually. To trust in God means to surrender our lives to Him, believing that He is leading us on the right path. An essential part of faith is acceptance. When we trust in God, we learn to embrace life situations as they are. Peace is found in acceptance. If we constantly expect change, we will never experience true contentment. Trusting God helps us see that He provides guidance in every situation, and Krishna's teachings clearly emphasize patience and wisdom. Difficulties in life test us, but faith in God allows us to transform these challenges into opportunities. Maintaining a positive mindset helps us overcome every crisis, and trusting God makes positivity an integral part of our lives. Faith in God teaches us to embrace both the highs and lows of life, knowing that He is with us through it all. No matter how great the obstacles, we must trust that God will show us the way forward. When this faith is deeply rooted in our hearts, we remain calm and composed in all circumstances. Faith in God eliminates fear from our lives. Fear is one of humanity's greatest enemies. It hinders progress and attempts to divert us from our true path. But when we trust in God, we gain the courage to move forward, knowing that He is guiding us toward our highest good. When we have firm faith in our hearts that God is with us, we are free from all fear. This belief reassures us and inspires us to move forward with confidence. We must understand that both success and failure are part of life, granted by God's grace. When we fail, it is a lesson showing us where our efforts fell short. When we succeed, it is to encourage us to continue improving. Trusting in God allows us to understand this process and move forward with patience and humility in every situation. Faith in God makes us humble and tolerant. It protects us from ego and teaches us that every action and success in our lives is a result of His grace. When we realize that nothing happens solely by our own efforts, but only through God's blessings, we experience deep satisfaction and joy. Shri Krishna's teachings also guide us to turn our minds toward God. We must learn to control our thoughts and direct them toward Him. When our mind is focused on God, we are free from worries and instability. This meditation brings us mental peace and helps us understand the true purpose of our lives. Trusting in God means surrendering every problem, big or small, at His feet. This faith simplifies our lives and fills us with contentment in all situations. When we align our actions with God's will, our lives attain a beautiful harmony. Thus, a person who has faith in God experiences success, peace, and balance. Such a person is not troubled by fear or anxiety because they know that God is with them at every step of life. Faith in God instills confidence and inner peace, allowing us to live life in its truest sense. It provides new direction, inspiration, and energy, keeping us strong in all situations and guiding us toward a balanced and positive life. When we accept God as our guide in every circumstance, we attain true success and happiness. The story of Madhav. Long ago, in a small village, there lived a young farmer named Madhav. He led a simple life with minimal income, yet his devotion to Lord Shri Krishna was unwavering. Madhav firmly believed that God would protect him in every situation and guide him through all hardships. Madhav's life was full of struggles. He owned a small piece of land where he cultivated crops, but time and again, pests destroyed his fields and ruined his harvest. The villagers often questioned his faith, saying, "Madhav, you trust God so much, even in the face of such difficulties. Don't you see that your crops are failing repeatedly?" Madhav would smile and reply, "God is with us in every situation. My duty is to do my work, and I leave the results in His hands." One year, a devastating flood hit the village. The waters were so strong that the villagers had to abandon their homes and seek higher ground. Madhav's farm and house were completely submerged, and his entire crop was washed away. Seeing his loss, his friends and relatives asked, "Now what, Madhav? You always trusted God, but look, everything you had is gone. Where is His help now?" Madhav, remaining calm, replied, "Whatever God does is for a greater good. I have faith in Him." After the floodwaters receded and life returned to normal, Madhav began working on his land again. However, he had lost all his seeds and fertilizers. At this difficult time, while gathering wood in the forest, he met a sage. Upon hearing about Madhav's struggles, the sage said, "My son, even in these trying times, do not lose your faith. Lord Shri Krishna is pleased with your devotion. I will give you a mantra. Whenever you feel lost, chant this, and God will surely help you." Madhav thanked the sage and began chanting the mantra with deep faith. A few days later, a wealthy landowner from the village approached Madhav and said, "Madhav, if you work in my fields, I will pay you fairly and also provide you with seeds and fertilizers." Overjoyed, Madhav accepted the offer. He worked tirelessly, and soon his own crops began to flourish once again. Through his unwavering faith, honesty, and hard work, Madhav not only restored his livelihood, but also earned the respect and admiration of the entire village. The same villagers who once questioned his faith now said, "Madhav, your trust in God is truly unshakable. You have taught us that faith in God must remain strong even in the toughest times." Humbly, Madhav replied, "Faith in God gives us patience and strength. It supports us through every challenge and gives us the courage to persevere. Lord Shri Krishna has taught us to focus on our actions without worrying about the results. This is the true essence of life." Madhav's devotion and unwavering faith not only helped him overcome hardships, but also inspired the entire village. They realized that while difficulties may arise, those who trust in God are never alone. He guides them at every step. Believing in God with a sincere heart is the ultimate source of strength. If we wish to keep progressing in life, we must strengthen our resolve. Every challenge presents an opportunity, offering us a chance to move forward. Having faith in God and upholding integrity in our work defines our purpose. When we live with this mindset, we become a source of inspiration, not only for ourselves, but also for others. We must open our hearts to experience God's grace. It is then that we realize He is always with us, guiding, teaching, and inspiring us. Drawing inspiration from Shri Krishna, we must understand that life is a journey. Along this path, we will encounter difficulties in achieving our goals. However, by recognizing the power within us, we can overcome these obstacles and continue moving forward. Faith in God nurtures positivity, patience, and hope in our hearts. Having faith in God means embracing an optimistic outlook and trusting in our inner strength to face every challenge. Krishna said, "I am with those who love me." We must believe that God is with us when we work with sincerity and dedication. His blessings unlock infinite possibilities in our lives. True winners are those who maintain their faith despite difficulties. They never give up. Their trust in God carries them through every hardship. Lord Shri Krishna's message teaches us that faith transforms life's problems into opportunities. With His grace, we will achieve our goals and succeed in life. Faith in God brings profound changes in our lives. It not only strengthens us, but also makes us a source of inspiration for others. Let us all come together in devotion, trust, and determination to make our lives meaningful. When we trust in God, a new energy fills our journey. This energy grants us the courage to face difficulties, instills confidence, and nurtures patience. It reminds us that we are never alone. God is with us at every step, protecting us and lighting our path. Challenges and difficulties are an inevitable part of life. No one experiences only happiness. At times we may face hardships and sorrow, but trusting in God provides us with mental peace and balance. When we believe that God is with us in every situation, our worries naturally diminish. This faith frees us from fear and fills us with the strength to overcome any adversity. In the Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna states, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Abandon all doubts and surrender to me. This profound wisdom reminds us that when we seek refuge in God and surrender our deeds to Him, our burdens are lifted. We realize that God is always with us, and our duty is simply to follow our karma with devotion. This understanding brings inner peace, allowing us to carry out our tasks with complete dedication and focus. There are moments in life when we feel our efforts have been in vain and despair surrounds us. It is in these moments that our faith is truly tested. Trusting in God means remaining positive in all situations, knowing that even the most difficult times shall pass. God never forsakes His devotees. We must trust in His grace, knowing He is always by our side. The life of Shri Krishna teaches us that the path of truth and righteousness, Dharma, is the highest path. When we walk in truth and integrity, God Himself protects us. There is no need for fear, for His blessings give us strength and stability, helping us achieve our goals. Often we may feel as though we have nothing left, but this is merely an illusion. In reality, God is always with us, constantly providing us with strength. It is up to us to recognize this power and use it to steer our lives in a positive direction. Instead of doubting our abilities, we should rely on God's grace and support. Shri Krishna also taught that the greatest enemy of man is his own mind. Therefore, we must learn to control our thoughts and direct them wisely. This is only possible when we establish God within our hearts. When our thoughts are pure and positive, we attain mental peace and a joyful life. Trusting in God means feeling His presence in every aspect of our lives. When we accept that every situation is a part of His divine plan, our lives gain a new sense of direction. Faith in God grants us peace, courage, and confidence, leading us to success in all areas of life. Each day should be lived with the conviction that God is with us, empowering us to overcome every challenge. Faith is a powerful force that awakens immense patience, peace, and strength within us. Whenever difficulties arise, this trust helps us recognize the power within ourselves. Trusting in God does not mean expecting miracles at every turn. Instead, it means understanding that everything happens according to His divine plan, and ultimately, it is for our highest good. When we dedicate our lives to God, we realize we are never truly alone. There is an invisible force guiding us through every step. Faith teaches us that every difficulty is an opportunity for growth. It grants us the strength to face failures and hardships with resilience. As Lord Shri Krishna said, "The devotee who has faith in me, I will support him and provide for his needs." When we surrender to God with complete devotion, He smoothens our path, takes care of all our needs, and removes our worries. A person who has faith in God never feels alone, for he knows he is blessed with divine protection. When we place our struggles before God and surrender our hearts to Him, we experience true peace. This transforms our mindset, helping us embrace our challenges as learning experiences. With this perspective, we cultivate positivity and remain untouched by negativity. Faith in God also teaches us humility and gratitude. When we attribute our achievements to His grace, we remain free from ego and pride. True success is experienced only when we recognize it as a blessing from God. This brings stability and humility to our thinking, allowing us to perform better in our actions. Krishna's teachings keep us steadfast and remind us to always believe in our inner strength. God resides within us, continuously providing us with new energy and inspiration. When we trust God, we also recognize our abilities and potential. It is important to understand that no situation is so difficult that we cannot overcome it by the grace of God. The challenges of life come to strengthen us. When we believe in God, patience and determination awaken within us. This faith helps us navigate through every difficulty, reminding us that God supports us the most when we need Him. Trusting God grants us the strength to maintain positivity in every situation. It instills confidence during difficult times, reinforcing the belief that this phase too shall pass. Every problem in life is temporary, But faith in God provides lasting peace and stability. This faith simplifies our lives, bringing joy and ease because we know that our sorrows, troubles, and worries are insignificant before God. To depend on God means to have complete dedication towards Him and to surrender our lives to His divine will. The true meaning of life is found in this surrender. When we understand that God takes care of all our needs, there is no fear or worry. We perform our duties selflessly and leave the results to God. Thus, trusting in God brings true peace, satisfaction, and balance to our lives. In every aspect, we must realize that God is with us. With His blessings, we can face any difficulty in life. Faith and dedication towards Him inspire us to walk the right path, leading us to success. The life and teachings of Lord Shri Krishna show us that life is filled with challenges. No matter how great the task, a person who has faith in God can accomplish it with ease. Therefore, we should always remember that a person who trusts in God never faces fear. When we have faith in God and surrender to Him, we realize that every situation in life is an experience meant to teach and guide us. We must keep our faith strong and dedicate our lives to God, as this is the path to true happiness and peace. To trust in God means to consider Him our support in every situation, regardless of circumstances. This trust gives us patience and courage. When we begin to doubt ourselves and our efforts seem to fail, our faith in God revitalizes us with new energy, enabling us to stand firm in any storm. Shri Krishna says that whenever we feel despair, we should remember that God is with us at every moment. We must have faith that whatever happens is ultimately for our benefit. Krishna's greatest message is to focus on our actions and not worry about the results. This does not mean taking our duties lightly, but rather dedicating ourselves completely to our efforts while leaving the outcome in God's hands. When we stop worrying about results, our minds remain calm and focused, allowing us to give our best in our work. Many times in life, we feel completely alone, with no one to help us. In such moments, faith in God provides inner peace, helping us understand that every situation is temporary. We must always look toward God, who alleviates our sorrows. When faith illuminates our hearts, we become strong from within and capable of facing any challenge. Trusting God teaches us the true essence of faith. When we trust in Him, we experience His presence even in our difficulties. This realization teaches us that every problem is a lesson and a test, strengthening us mentally and helping us become self-reliant. Trusting God means surrendering our lives to Him, believing that He is guiding us along the right path. Another important aspect of faith is acceptance. When we trust in God, we learn to accept every situation as it comes. It is in this acceptance that we find true peace. If we are constantly expecting change, we will never find peace. But with faith, we understand that every situation carries a hidden message for us. Krishna's teachings emphasize patience and wisdom. Difficulties come to test us, and faith in God allows us to transform these challenges into opportunities. Maintaining a positive outlook in every situation enables us to overcome crises. Trusting God does not mean expecting solutions to our problems without effort. It means seeking His guidance in every situation while performing our duties with sincerity. True faith is knowing that God is with us even in difficult times, ready to show us the right path. Faith in God helps us understand that every event has a purpose and that we must face every challenge with confidence and courage. We find numerous religious and historical examples demonstrating the importance of faith in God. The life of Lord Rama teaches us that even the most impossible tasks become possible through faith. When Lord Rama battled the evil Ravana, his unwavering faith in God gave him the strength and courage to achieve victory. This faith not only granted him success, but also proved that true heroes are those who trust in God. Similarly, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explained to Arjuna that faith in God is essential in all situations. When Arjuna was filled with doubt and despair on the battlefield, Krishna guided him, reminding him not to abandon his duty and to trust in God. This message continues to inspire us today, encouraging us to fulfill our responsibilities with confidence and faith. Swami Vivekananda also demonstrated unwavering faith in God throughout his life. His deep trust in the divine allowed him to spread Indian culture and self-confidence across the world. He believed that a person who has faith in God can overcome any challenge. Thus, we can conclude that faith in God makes life easier and more peaceful. When we trust in Him, we face difficulties with strength, knowing that everything happens for our ultimate good. The power and faith in God possess a unique energy that guides us through every crisis and leads us onto the right path. Therefore, we should maintain faith in God in every aspect of our lives, knowing that through our hard work and His divine grace, we can overcome any challenge. Friends, we hope you appreciated our efforts. Please like this video and share it with your family and friends. If you are new to our channel, subscribe and enable notifications. Don't forget to express your gratitude and devotion by writing Jai Shri Radhe Krishna in the comment box.